Welcome to English Talk with Emma. I'm so glad you're here.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Talk with Emma, your go-to podcast for leveling up your everyday English. I am Emma, your host and teacher.
And I'm Mark, your co-host and forever student. Thanks for joining us today, guys. If this is your first time listening, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a lesson. We've got a great one for you today.
So, Mark, how are you doing today? You have a very serious look on your face. You seem a million miles away. What is going on in that head of yours?
Yeah, I guess I am a bit distracted. I spent my whole weekend cleaning out my attic, and let's just say it was an unexpected emotional roller coaster. I found something up there that really got me thinking about the past.
Oh boy, attics are dangerous places for the mind. All those old memories boxed up? What exactly did you find?
I found my old electric guitar. My beautiful, sunburst Fender Stratocaster. It was covered in a thick layer of dust, just sitting there in a broken case. I wiped it off, sat down on a cardboard box, held it, and my mind just started racing. I was sitting there thinking, man, I could have been a professional musician by now.
Oh, Mark, I didn't even know you played. I've known you for years. What happened?
Back in my 20s, my best friend Dave started an indie rock band. They needed a lead guitarist, and he practically begged me to join. We used to jam in his garage every weekend, and we sounded genuinely good. But I had just gotten accepted into a rigorous business program at the university. I chose the business degree because it felt like the logical, safe, and responsible choice.
And what happened to Dave's band?
Dave's band actually ended up getting signed. They were touring all over Europe last year, so sometimes I just hold that dusty guitar and wonder, what would my life have been like if I had grabbed my amp, ignored the business school, and just jumped into his tour van?
How did it feel, sitting in the dusty attic, holding that guitar, and thinking all of that?
Honestly, it felt like a little physical pinch in my stomach. A mix of sadness, curiosity, and maybe a little grief for a life I didn't choose. It's that loud, annoying voice in your head that constantly whispers, "What if?"
I think every single human being carries a what if around with them. It's perfectly natural. I definitely have mine playing in the back of my mind.
Really? You? But you're always so incredibly focused and organized. What could your what if possibly be?
Well, years ago, before I started teaching English, my older sister asked me to open a bakery with her in Seattle. We had the entire business plan written out. We had a beautiful corner location picked out with giant windows. And I actually had the savings to help her start it. We were going to call it the Morning Crumb.
Emma, a bakery? That sounds incredible. I can totally picture you running a bakery.
It really does. But that same week, I had just received a scholarship offer to get my master's degree in education. I knew my true, deep passion was teaching, so I had to tell her no. It broke my heart a little. She ended up opening it with a different business partner, and it's a very successful, busy cafe today.
Do you ever regret saying no to her?
Not a deep, painful regret, no. But sometimes, when I'm grading 50 grammar papers at midnight and my eyes are burning, I think, my life would have been so peaceful. I would have been waking up at 4 a.m., smelling fresh croissants covered in white flour, serving hot coffee to the local neighborhood regulars.
Wow, that is quite the image. And you know, Emma, as we're sitting here sharing these personal stories, I'm realizing we just naturally used the exact phrases that a listener emailed us about last week. Could have been, would have been, and have been.
You are absolutely right. A big shout out to our listener, Carlos from Spain, who messaged us saying, Emma, Mark, please help. These three phrases look exactly the same to me, and they tie my brain in knots. So, Carlos, today is your lucky day. We are dedicating this entire episode to clearing up this confusion once and for all.
Thank goodness, because even though I just used them naturally in my guitar story, if you asked me to explain the actual grammar rules to Carlos, my brain would completely freeze, like a computer with too many tabs open.
Don't worry, it is much simpler than it looks, I promise. Let's break them down one by one, starting with the absolute foundation. Have been.
Okay, have been. That one seems basic. It sounds like the most normal one out of the three.
Exactly. It is the present perfect tense. It is the foundation that everything else builds upon. I want you to imagine a rubber band that stretches from the past directly to right now. We use it in three main ways. The first way is to talk about life experiences, especially places. Give me an example, Mark.
Okay, let me think of a place. I have been to Brazil.
Perfect. What does that sentence communicate to the listener?
It means that at some point in my past, I traveled to Brazil. I don't need to say the exact year or the exact month. It's just a permanent stamp in my passport of life.
Exactly. Have been to plus a place simply means you visited it. You had the experience, and that experience is part of who you are now. The second way we use it is with an adjective to describe a state or a feeling that started in the past and is still happening right now.
Like, I have been exhausted this whole week.
Yes, if you say, I have been exhausted, it means you were tired yesterday, you were tired this morning, and you are still sitting here feeling tired right now. The rubber band connects the past fatigue to the present moment.
That is a very accurate example for me today. Okay, what's the third way?
The third way is have been plus an ing verb. This highlights the ongoing length of an action. For example, I have been cleaning the attic all weekend.
Okay, I see what you did there. So it means I started cleaning on Saturday morning, the action has duration, and I'm technically still in the process of doing it now.
Exactly. So, have been is real. It's your actual experience, your actual feelings, or your actual ongoing actions. Now, let's leave reality behind and step into the imagination. Let's talk about could have been.
Okay, bracing myself. This is where it gets tricky for me.
Think of it this way. Could have been is about a past possibility that did not happen. It is like holding a movie ticket for a film you never went to see. You had the ticket, you had the opportunity, the door was unlocked, but you chose a different door.
A movie ticket you didn't use. I absolutely love that analogy. So, when I said I could have been a musician. The opportunity was a real thing. Dave offered me the spot. The ticket was in my hand, but I threw it away to study business instead. The possibility was there, but it stayed in my imagination.
Exactly. And notice how that sentence carries a specific emotion? Could have been usually expresses either deep regret or profound relief.
Regret makes total sense. Like, I could have learned Spanish when I lived in Madrid, but I didn't. What about relief? Show me a relief example.
Imagine you are driving in the rain and a truck runs a red light and misses your car by just 1 inch. You would grip the steering wheel, take a shaky breath, and say, "Wow, that could have been a terrible accident."
Oh, I feel that in my chest. You're relieved because the terrible thing was totally possible. The door was wide open for disaster, but luckily, you didn't go through it. It was a close call.
Spot on. So, could have been equals a past option or possibility. Now, what is the difference between that and our final phrase, would have been?
This is where Carlos and I both get completely lost in the weeds.
If could have been is the unused movie ticket, would have been is the movie itself. It is the imagined result. It tells us what the alternate reality actually looks like.
Wait, let me process this slowly. So could is the door existing, and would is what is waiting for me on the other side of that door?
Yes, that is a brilliant way to put it. Would have been always has a hidden if attached to it. It describes an entirely imaginary universe based on a different choice.
Okay, let me try with my guitar story again. I could have been a musician. That is the option, the door. If I had joined the band, my life would have been incredibly chaotic. That is the imagined result.
You nailed it, Mark! You are comparing the option with the imaginary outcome. The hidden if is the key. Sometimes we don't even say the if part out loud. If a friend suggests a party that you missed and you say, that would have been fun, what is the hidden if?
The hidden if is, if I had actually gone to the party, it would have been fun.
Exactly. And because it's about a life we didn't live, a ghost of a past, would have been is often very emotional. It carries nostalgia, longing, or deep love. For example, my grandmother would have been so proud of me today.
Oh, wow. That actually gave me goosebumps. She isn't here anymore, but in that imagined scenario where she can see you, the result is her pride.
Exactly. Now, let's put all three together in a quick quiz. I will give you a scenario, and you use the phrases. Ready?
Bring it on. I'm ready.
Scenario 1. Your friend Sarah went to culinary school, but she decided to become a software engineer instead. Talk about her career.
Okay. Sarah has been a software engineer for 3 years. That's her real life. But she could have been a professional chef. That was the open door. And if she had become a chef, her daily schedule would have been completely different.
Flawless! Let's do another one. Leo was about to buy a used car, but he checked the engine at the very last second and realized it was completely broken.
Ooh, a relief one. Okay. Buying that broken car could have been a massive financial mistake. If he had bought it, he would have been so angry and stressed out. So now he has been taking the bus while he looks for a different car.
Perfect. Scenario 3. Let's talk about our friend David. He missed his flight to New York because he overslept. But that same flight ended up being delayed for 10 hours on the runway.
Oh, wow. Okay, so oversleeping could have been a huge disaster for his trip. But if he had actually made the flight, he would have been stuck on a tiny airplane for 10 hours. So, honestly, he has been pretty lucky today.
You seamlessly blended reality, possibility, and imaginary results. Now, before we wrap up, we need to talk about common mistakes. Mark, if I say, I would have been to Paris, is that correct?
No, that sounds completely wrong. Something is off. Been to is for real experiences. You can't have an imaginary real experience.
Perfectly said. You would say, I would have gone to Paris, or I would have been in Paris. Another huge mistake happens in writing. Mark, how do people often misspell could have?
Oh, I see this in text messages and emails all the time. People write could of with an OF.
Yes, please, everyone listening, never write could have or would have. Native speakers make this mistake because when we speak fast in casual conversation, could have shrinks into could have, which sounds exactly like could have. But grammatically, it is always a modal verb followed by have. Always.
I am permanently fixing that mistake starting today.
Good. Let's lock everything in with a quick vocabulary review from today's stories.
Let's do it.
Regret. R-E-G-R-E-T. A feeling of sadness about something you did or didn't do. A wish that things had gone differently.
Opportunity. OPPORTUNITY. A chance to do something. A door that opens in your life. That scholarship Emma got was a huge opportunity.
Hypothetical. HYPOTHETICAL. Imagined, not real. A what-if situation. Every time we use would have been, we are talking about a hypothetical universe.
Outcome. OUTCOME. The result of something. What happens in the end. The outcome would have been different if I had joined the band.
Close call. When something bad almost happened, but you escaped it. Missing that terrible car purchase was a close call for Leo.
And finally, hindsight. HINDSIGHT. Understanding a situation only after it has already happened. Looking back with more knowledge. Hindsight is like a rear-view mirror for your life.
I love that. A rear view mirror for your life. So, to summarize one last time, have been is your reality bridge. Could have been is the unused movie ticket of possibility. Would have been is the imaginary movie playing in your head.
I finally understand it perfectly. Carlos, I hope this helped you as much as it helped me.
Now, we have a homework question for our listeners. Tell us in the comments below. What is something you could have been? A pilot? A painter? A baker? We want to hear your what-if stories.
If you found this episode helpful, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share this with a friend who is learning English.
Thank you so much for learning with us today. Keep those suggestions coming, keep practicing, and we will see you tomorrow for another English Talk. Bye, everyone!
See ya!